The scenario with Hector and Kim requires a great deal of data and analysis with multiple charts for multiple people. A leader with a team of 15 support analysts is not likely to have the time to routinely do that level of analysis. Can we make it easier to quickly identify who's creating value and who needs help? Well, for rapid assessment, we can use a tool called a radar chart. Creating a radar chart requires some thought. First, we want to be sure that we get a balanced view. Our key metrics should reflect a balance of leading and lagging indicators or activities and outcomes, and quantity and quality. The leading indicators or activities are compared to the team average, not the goal, and the lagging indicators, being the outcomes, are compared to the goal. Secondly, we have to normalise the values to a common scale. For this example, we will normalise to the value of 1. So anything less than 1 is not meeting the team average or the goal, and anything greater than 1 is better than the team average or exceeds the goal. In the case of the leading indicators, the activities, we will normalise it to the team average. Remember, do not put goals on activities. For the lagging indicators, being the outcomes, we will normalise the goal to 1. Now we have to decide what measures to use in the radar chart. Organisations that use radar charts each have their own set of measures, usually defined by the KCS adoption team. For our example, we will use Hector and Kim's data from the scenario mentioned earlier, and we will use the following measures: Customer Satisfaction Index, assuming that this is captured at the individual level, which is based on the post-incident closure surveys in which the goal is normalised to 1. Knowledge Contribution, Article Quality Index or AQI, based on sampling and scoring of articles, and the goal is normalised to 1. Citations, peers' use of articles, where the number per month is rationalised to indicate 1 being the team average. Process and operations measures, including incidents handled, being the number of incidents handled by month, where the team average is normalised to 1. Average time to relief, or TTR, which represents the average minutes to provide relief or an answer. The team average is normalised to 1. Note here that the individual values for the average TTR have been inverted, so a shorter TTR than the team average has to have a value less than 1, and longer is greater than 1. Participation rate, the percentage of cases closed with a resolution linked to the knowledge base, and the team average is normalised to 1. Once we have decided on what measures we want to include in the radar chart and the calculations for normalising them to 1, we can then plot the chart. So let's have a look at both Hector and Kim's value footprint. We can see that these charts are much easier to read than the array of graphs we used in the previous scenario. By comparing an individual's performance to team averages for leading indicators and the goals for lagging indicators, we can quickly see that Hector is creating value and Kim needs some help. This is a helpful way to view measures so long as we have a balanced view of the leading and lagging indicators as well as the qualitative and quantitative measures. However, no measure or collection of measures can be meaningful without an understanding of the context in which the individual works and the role of the individual. Assessing data in the context of the environment is a key responsibility of the team manager. We find that the assessment of value creation in the KCS environment is so different from the transaction and activity-based measures that first and second line managers are conditioned to use that there's a need to train managers on how to interpret and use value-based measures.